Right now, as you listen to this, you are having thoughts no one else can hear. Judgments you would never speak aloud. Desires you keep hidden even from yourself. Memories that surface unbidden and disappear before you can examine them. Small cruelties, unexpected tenderness, the constant inner monologue that narrates your existence. Your mind is the only truly private place you have ever known. The one territory no one can enter without invitation. Every secret you have ever kept, every shameful thought, every moment of doubt or fear, all of it locked safely inside a vault that no technology, no interrogation, no intimacy can breach. You can sit across from someone you love and think terrible things, and they will never know. You can smile at a stranger while calculating how to destroy them. This is not deception. This is simply how consciousness works. We are all, fundamentally, alone. Now imagine waking up tomorrow and that privacy is gone. Not just for you, for everyone on Earth. Every thought, every impulse, every hidden feeling broadcast to anyone within range. No filter, no way to stop the transmission. Your inner world, suddenly exterior. Your secrets, suddenly shared. What if every person on Earth could suddenly read each other's minds? The first thing you would notice is the noise. Not sound exactly, but pressure. A flood of impressions that are not yours. Your partner's anxiety bleeding into your consciousness before they even wake. Your neighbor's grief over something you never knew about. The sharp spike of someone's anger 3 floors up. The fog of someone's depression seeping through the walls like smoke. It would feel like being dropped into 1,000 conversations simultaneously, except you cannot close your ears. You cannot look away. You cannot turn down the volume. The thoughts simply arrive, unbidden, unwanted, unstoppable. Your own inner voice would struggle to be heard above the din of everyone else's inner voices. Within hours, relationships would begin to fracture, not because people are secretly monsters, but because human connection has always depended on the gap between what we think and what we say. We curate ourselves for each other. We soften the truth. We let the momentary flash of irritation fade before speaking. We translate complex emotions into simpler, kinder words. That gap is not deception. It is grace. It is love in action. And in a world of telepathy, it vanishes instantly. Courts would empty overnight. The entire legal system is built on uncertainty about intention. Did they plan the crime? Were they coerced? Do they feel remorse? Are they lying on the stand? These questions define trials, fill prisons, occupy thousands of attorneys and judges. Telepathy answers them all instantly. Guilt is simply known. Innocence is verified without testimony. The elaborate machinery of justice becomes unnecessary. But so does the presumption of innocence, the right to silence, the protection of the accused. When minds are transparent, there is no more benefit of the doubt. Every dark thought becomes potential evidence. Every flash of anger becomes a warning sign. The line between thinking about a crime and committing one would blur until it disappeared entirely. We would be judged not for what we do, but for what we imagine. Politics would collapse even faster. Every campaign promise would be tested against the candidate's actual beliefs. Every negotiation would be transparent. Every backroom deal would be visible to anyone who walked past. No politician could survive total honesty, because politics has never been about honesty. It has been about the management of competing interests, the strategic release of information, the construction of coalitions through careful compromise. All of that requires privacy. Without that gap, governance itself becomes impossible. And what replaces it? Here is what most people do not consider. After the initial shock, After the breakdowns and the panic, after the institutions crumble, something unexpected would begin to happen. We would start to truly know each other, not the curated, performed version we present to the world, not the social mask we have spent decades perfecting, the real thing, the messy, contradictory, frightened, hopeful, actual person underneath. You would discover that your mother's frustration with you was always wrapped around a core of terror, that she was not good enough. You would feel your father's pride radiating from him every time he looked at you. You would realize that the colleague who seems cold is drowning in anxiety every morning and has been for years. That the stranger who was rude to you on the train just found out someone they love is dying. The great revelation of telepathy would not be that people are worse than we thought. It would be that almost everyone is fighting a battle we knew nothing about. That behind every face is a story of struggle. That the cruelty we encounter is almost always the overflow of pain we cannot see. We would discover that we are not alone in our suffering. Empathy would no longer be an effort. It would be unavoidable. You could not watch someone suffer and remain indifferent because you would literally feel what they feel. Their pain would become your pain. Their joy would be your joy. Cruelty would become psychologically impossible because hurting someone else would be indistinguishable from hurting yourself. The golden rule would no longer be a moral instruction. It would be a simple statement of neurological fact. But some people would flee, not because they have something to hide, but because the self needs silence to exist. Consciousness may require a boundary, a place where your thoughts end and the world begins. Without that boundary, identity starts to blur. When you feel what everyone feels, when your thoughts are indistinguishable from the collective noise, when you cannot tell where you end and others begin, do you still exist as an individual? Or do you dissolve into something larger, something that might be more connected, but is no longer recognizably you? There is a difference between being known and being seen. Being known is having your thoughts extracted without consent. Being seen is choosing to reveal yourself to someone who chooses to receive you. One is surveillance. The other is intimacy. In our world, we have the luxury of that distinction. In a telepathic world, it would be the first thing to disappear. Most people say they want honesty, but what they really want is selected honesty, the curated reveal, the confession given freely, not taken by force, the secret shared because you chose to trust, not because you had no choice. That selection process is not deception. It is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. We give ourselves to each other in pieces, gradually, as trust is earned. That gradual revelation is love itself. Because love is not knowing everything about someone. Love is knowing you do not know everything and choosing to stay anyway. It is trusting that what they show you is offered in good faith. It is accepting that some parts of them may remain forever private, and being grateful rather than resentful for that mystery. It is believing that the gap between who they are and who they appear to be is not deception, but simply the human condition. In a world where thoughts are private, every confession is a gift. Every moment of honesty is an act of courage. Every time you choose to let someone see the real you, you are offering them something rare and valuable. You are saying, I trust you with this. I choose you as witness to my imperfection. I am opening the vault door, not because I have to, but because I want you to see what is inside. That is something telepathy could never give us. The forced extraction of secrets is not intimacy. It is violation. True connection requires the possibility of hiddenness. It requires the choice to reveal. It requires the courage to be vulnerable when you could have remained safe. Think about the last time someone trusted you with something they did not have to share. Think about how that felt. Think about the last time you chose to be honest when you could have stayed silent. Think about the weight of that moment, the trembling vulnerability of it, the way it changed the relationship forever. That is what would be lost in a telepathic world. Not the secrets themselves, but the meaning of sharing them. What if the most human thing about us isn't what we share, but what we choose to share? If that question sat with you for a moment, you are exactly who this channel is for. Subscribe, and every week we will ask another one together. Hit the bell so you never miss a question.